our members to create a thriving economy in Saginaw County and beyond. So I'd like to share a few recent upcoming items on our plate. Our legislative update is very brief. We are continuing our work with both the city and the county. We're very grateful for the ARPA dollars that were dedicated to our medical hub, creating that. We're working with our state legislators and our federal legislators. Big thank you to Congressman Kildee for a nearly $4 million appropriation to help that effort to infrastructure, really, the non-sexy stuff. But it takes a lot of money, and we are progressing with that. So we're busy meeting our new legislators. Saginaw has a number. We have 3 senators and now 4 state representatives, all representing Saginaw, which is good on one hand because it gives us more legislators that want to focus on Saginaw County. The challenge is that none of them, only one state representative, Amos O'Neill, is actually from Saginaw County. So we have to educate these legislators that are all outside of the district about the importance of Saginaw, what our issues are, and why they should care. So coming up this Saturday, March 18th, coming up on, put my glasses on, let me start over. Coming up on Saturday, March 18th, the Chamber invites you to join us at the annual Chairman's Ball. This year, we'll run for the roses with a Kentucky Derby theme. The event includes an open bar, dinner, dancing to live music, and a fun money casino. And there's always me. I try and make it fun. So during the program, we'll honor First State Bank with the Corporate Community Service Award and say farewell to our 2022 board chair, Beth Teamy. We really hope you can make it. It's a lot of fun if you've never been. It's also not too soon to plan to attend our own State of the Chamber event, the Chamber's annual meeting on Friday, April 28th at Horizons Conference Center. We'll honor our Chamber volunteers, share some 2022 accomplishments, and enjoy a great meal. Then we'll hear about Huntington Bank and the Chamber, as well as plans and visions for the future from our 2024 board chair next year, Seth Perigo. For any of these upcoming events, please call the Chamber for sponsorship opportunities and tickets. Before I go into this, I just want to say, I don't know, because the lights are so bright, Sheriff would know all of this. I can't see. And I'm not going to sing Bob Seger. If you see some what look like 8th graders roaming around, Brenda Moore, our mayor, invited about 40 8th graders from Saginaw Public Schools to attend today's breakfast. We're really thrilled to have them here. If they're not here, they will be here shortly. So if you see them, make them feel welcome. But now I'd like to take, thank you. Now I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge some of our elected officials, administrators, public servants, and special guests. Please stand as I call your name or group and remain standing. Since it's an extensive and impressive list, I'd like to ask all of you to hold your applause until I've introduced everyone. First, I'd like to ask any legislators or their representatives joining us this morning to please stand up and be recognized. Stand up and stay standing. Where are you? Where are you, Jake? There you go. And now, with the following individuals, please stand and join them. All County of Saginaw, City of Saginaw, Township, Saginaw Township, or other elected officials. Stand up. All right. Hold your applause, hold your applause. Saginaw ISD and school superintendents. Okay, there you are, Jeff. Any police, fire, sheriff's department, or emergency medical service representatives? Thank you all for your service. Any chamber board member, past and present? Okay. Finally, not on my list, but I'd like to have former state senator Ken Horn stand. And now, we'd like to thank you all for your leadership and service to this community and to this region. Please join me in acknowledging these elected officials. Oh, I already touched with these graders. Thanks, Nancy. I jumped the gun. We'd like to also welcome today the current class of the Chamber's own Leadership Saginaw County Class of 2023. Please stand and be recognized, and thank you for joining us today. Where are you? There you are. Great class. Is this the best class ever? No. It's vitally important that the business community work in partnership with local governments to make our community the best place to call home, to work, and to raise our families. The Chamber would not be able to bring these programs to you without the help of our sponsors. I'd like to welcome the first of today's two speaker sponsors to the podium. Please welcome Executive Director of External and Legislative Affairs for AT&T and this year's Chamber Board Chairman, Gavin Gatz.
Good morning, everybody. What a great crowd. Listen, Sheriff, I just want to tell you, I may or may not have some stories of Veronica singing Bob Seger, but we'll hold that for the chairman's ball. Good morning, everyone. And for those who don't know me, I'm Gavin Gatz. I have the honor of serving as the chair of the board of directors for the Saginaw Chamber of Commerce this year. I'm wearing two hats today as I'm also representing AT&T Michigan, where I serve as the executive director of external and legislative affairs. AT&T Michigan is proud to once again sponsor the Percolator Breakfast Series, which brings together the who's who of Saginaw County several times a year. We are pleased to help bring you the state of the city portion of today's Percolator Breakfast, which provides us a great opportunity to hear firsthand about the great things happening in the city of Saginaw. Before today's event officially kicks off, I wanted to share a quick update about a couple of the exciting things that AT&T Michigan is working on in Saginaw County and around the state. Bridging the digital divide has remained a priority for us at AT&T, and we proudly opened 2 connected learning centers in Detroit last year. These centers are a big part of our efforts to remove the connectivity barriers that sometimes stand in the way by providing computer labs and internet service to residents. These groundbreaking centers are helping students do schoolwork, adults search for jobs, seniors learn about digital literacy, and so much more. Throughout the AT&T Connected Learning Program, we are helping parents, caregivers, and families build the skills that they need to participate safely in our digital world. We are also excited as we recently celebrated the 5-year anniversary of FirstNet, the country's only dedicated communications network for our first responders. Over the past 5 years, more than 240 communities in Michigan have taken advantage of FirstNet, ensuring that our first responders have the connectivity they need to save lives. It's exciting to see the impact that FirstNet has already had, and the network is continuing to grow and help save lives. To learn more about FirstNet, stop by the FirstNet booth out front. We have a site out there today as you've got breakfast. Whether you're a first responder or affiliated with a municipality or want to learn more about how to help get FirstNet in your community, our team can help. Thanks so much for your time and enjoy today's event. And now I have the pleasure of introducing the next presenter. Mayor Brenda Fay Moore is a lifelong resident of the city of Saginaw. She is a proud graduate of Saginaw High School and earned an associate's degree from Delta College. Mayor Moore, I guess that's your cue to start walking on. Mayor Moore understands the value of the family unit and is passionate about helping individuals receive the support and assistance they need to improve their lives. After her election to City Council in 2013, Mayor Moore quickly became involved with the Michigan Municipal League, attending conferences, and training to understand her role as a newly elected official. Brenda completed all 4 levels of the Michigan Municipal League training: education, leadership, governance, and ambassador. She was elected to the Board of Trustees for the Michigan Municipal League, where she served as vice president in 2019 and 2020, and in September of 2020 became the first African American woman to serve as head of the Michigan Municipal League. Brenda is the president of the Michigan Black Caucus of Local Elected Officials and a member of Women in Municipal Government and Michigan Association of Mayors. She served as mayor pro tem from 2018 to the fall of 2020 when she was elected mayor. She was re-elected mayor in 2022. As a member of council, Brenda has served on several influential boards and commissions and has been involved in serving the citizens of Saginaw for the entire time. She is the president of the 911 Authority Board. She serves on the Saginaw Planning Commission, Saginaw Future Board of Directors, and the Region 7 Area Agency on Aging. Mayor Moore hopes her service on council will have a positive impact on youth. A member of Greater Renaissance Baptist Church, Mayor Moore often volunteers whenever and wherever they have a need. She appreciates the outdoors and enjoys attending the many summer events in the city, including Jazz on Jefferson, Light Up the City, and the Friday Night Live series of concerts. Mayor Moore loves her home in the heart of downtown Saginaw and is proud to serve the citizens. Please welcome Saginaw Mayor Brenda Moore.
Good morning. Good morning. Let's try that again. Good morning. Good morning. You know what? We all had to get up early, and I'm so sorry that you did, but trust me, it's going to be worth your while. Trust me. First of all, you know who I am. I would like to thank each and every one of you for attending this year's 2023 State of the City, State of the County address. I'd like to give a special thank you to the Chambers of Commerce for hosting this event. I'd also like to acknowledge my partners in crime, my fellow council persons who are here. And if you're not here, you're here in spirit. My Mayor Pro Tem, Andy Bench, Michael Balls, Michael Flores, Monique Sylvia, Bill Ostash, Reggie Williams, George Copeland, and our new, Michael Balls, I hope I didn't forget, Michael Balls, and our newest elected council person, Priscilla Garcia. You guys can stand up. I'd also like to acknowledge our city manager, Tim Morales, and his management team, because without them, we couldn't move the city forward at all. It is my honor to stand here today as your mayor of this great city. I want to take a moment to talk to each and every one, excuse me, thank each and every one of the citizens who allowed me to live my dream as being your mayor. I promise that I will continue to be committed and continue to do the things to help move the city of Saginaw forward. Today is an exciting day for the city. Why is it exciting? Because we get to tell you about what we did over the course of a past year in 2022. Well, when I reflect back on the progress and look at, and everybody asks me what's next, we've come a long ways the past 2 years. I'm proud of our team and what we accomplished together. Through every twisted turn and challenge we faced during the pandemic, one thing about our staff and our citizens, we didn't waver. We stayed focused and we stayed on task. As I travel throughout the state, talking to other elected officials or municipalities, the famous question they ask me is, how does Saginaw do what they do? Well, with a lot of praying, However, it's an easy task to do when you love what you do. So to answer everybody's question about the state of the Dresser City, if you know me, you know for the last year, I have been preaching and saying, it's a new season, it's a new day. Fresh anointing is coming our way. The spirit of power and prosperity. It's a new season, and it's coming for us. I'm standing on that again this year. Saginaw has made a lot of great strides in the county and in the city. So, things are changing in the city. I believe we are succeeding in everything that we put our hands on. 1 year ago, I asked you all to dream. I wasn't in front of you, nervous as I am today. I was sitting in the council chambers and I said, just dream with me. Can you imagine how you really want to see this city? And you did. Today, I share the steps we took in the past year to make the dream a reality. How we got to work to build our future where all can actually call this home again. In order to achieve these dreams for the city, we need a strong foundation. And the strong foundation starts at City Hall. Then it goes to us. Then it goes to the community. Let's take a look at our financial situation. Our city manager and his financial team have been able to maintain a solid financial position by being proactive in managing our expenses and our budget, reviewing every expenditure and closely monitoring the revenue. In 2013, our general fund balance was barely $270,000. At the completion of fiscal year 2022, our fund balance reported at $10.3 million. We've come a long way, baby. That's right, give it up. Some thought we wouldn't make it. Who got the laugh now? Hey, you gotta put joke in this just for it to be all right. The management budget team, we have now approved the 2023 budget on city council. You know it's bad when you gotta read pages. There must be constant monitoring on our budget. We've got one thing that we're the only city in the nation that has a tax cap. We gotta work on that. We've gotta lift that tax cap. If we want to move forward, it has to be lifted. Okay. Our financial division and utility bills team, they all got together and they made hundreds of courtesy phone calls to residents, letting them know about water shutoffs and about agencies that could help assist them in paying their water bills. I'd like to thank, our water and sewer delinquent bill rate has dropped significantly over the past year due to the availability of programs. With the partners that we use, Saginaw Community Action Center, we use United Way and Michigan Homeowners Association. They helped assist our residents in paying their consumers, their water, and their rent bills. I also want to point out the fact that the Office of Managing Budget and Finances have both received the national recognition over the past decade from the Government Financial Association. This shows our commitment to accountability, accuracy, and transparency. There is a fresh anointing flowing our way. I've been asked what I mean when I speak of fresh anointing. A fresh anointing is something that we talk a lot about in church, and I believe it applies to the city. Fresh anointing is a fresh outpour to express more joy, more power, and it's the ability to do the things in a way, in a new way, and to go beyond our regular scope of life. We're doing it different throughout the city. Collectively, we are building a vibrant and livable city. Let's look at the city operation and the way we have delivered core services to build our neighborhoods and enhance our infrastructure and the quality of life. In 2022, we were able to improve 16 lanes of roads, including a major reconstruction and along with portions of West Highland Avenue, Lapeer Avenue, East Remington Street, and Wadsworth. We've also completed over $1.5 million in preserving and maintaining the Highland and Genesee Avenue Bridge. In an effort to inform our city of the road construction and closure and travel throughout the city launched an interactive road construction map on our city webpage to help our travelers navigate the city planned roads during the repairs. We know we have to look to the future to attract our new residents and visitors to our city. In the downtown area, we continue to make strides to improve parking as we have nearly completed the new surface parking lot in the downtown area. We also installed 6 electrical vehicle chargers, and they are located throughout downtown and Old Town. I've heard from some travelers as they travel through the city and they charge up their cars. Pretty nice city, pretty nice city. The food is good, the people are nice. That's a good thing, that's a good thing. Saginaw has some of the finest and quality water in the country. We provide safe and clean, reliable drinking water to our citizens and residents as well as to other wholesale consumers in the community. In 2022, the Water Treatment Division treated and delivered $6.1 billion a gallon of drinking water and have performed thousands of quality tests to ensure your drinking water is safe. This past fall, we hosted a press conference announcing $15 million in federal dollars awarded to the City of Saginaw funds for the elevated water storage project. Many people may not realize the significance of this elevated storage. Constructing the elevated storage will ensure that the city is able to maintain future compliances and greatly increase the realization of the city overall water treatment. Our city and our residents will benefit from these federal dollars for years to come. I want to thank the federal government, Congressman Dan Kildee and the state of Michigan for allowing this. I also have to recognize our excellent staff at our water treatment plant and their efforts to submit the requirements for the funding that ultimately resulted in us being awarded these funds. We made a change in every area of our city operation, and it is having a big impact throughout the city. This year, the HR team negotiated a new healthcare program for retirees that subsequently reduced our annual cost, but it significantly reduced the retiree healthcare unfunded liability from $312 million to $156 million. That's a reduction of $156 million. I think that stands for something. Some said we wouldn't make it, others said we were too slow. I don't know where we are. I think we just coasting on down the road while everybody else gives up. We don't give up, we keep fighting. In addition, so then I'd like to just thank, he's not here with us anymore, but he just retired. And I just think Dennis Jordan needs to be recognized wherever you are, Dennis. I hope you up in the morning watching me. I just want to thank you, because without you helping us save money, where would we be right now? And June, thank you. Y'all know I'm really ready to be myself, don't you? I'm really ready to be myself, but I got to do this speech. And this is so hard doing this speech. Okay. In addition, in June, in the summer of June, our HR department hosted a job fair. There were over 100 individuals who came into the job fair for a 3-hour-long program. And what happened was, some of them needed to get their Class A CDL. But guess what? Saginaw got innovative, and we now offer the training to our employees who need to get it. And it's free. So far, since we started this project, we have 8 individuals who have completed it and are working full-time with the city. I sure hope I'm giving the right information. If not, blame it on the mayor. Blame it on the mayor. I'm okay. I got big shoulders. Trust me. Throughout 2022, there was a lot of fresh new enhancements taking place in our city. Our fire department, my firefighters, we now have a fire training building. Looks like a real house. And trust me, we did the fire prevention stuff, and I had to climb through the smoke. I'm like twisted and turning. I don't know how they do it, because they have too many clothes on. They just have way too many clothes, and they jump in the clothes, and I'm like, I can't even breathe in these clothes. It's too many clothes. So, and they also had upgraded their fleet, and we got us a new fire truck this year. In 2022, that was the first year the completion of our fire training program that's offered at Delta College. We had 7 high school seniors who actually went through the program, and on completion of graduation, they got certificates. Get it right, certificates in firefighter training. So this, you know what? Wake up, wake up. It's not that bad. I see that my little people came, and they are from Saginaw City School of Excellence. Business right now. We need some leaders. And who better but to bring some young people into a setting like this with business people, to let them see this is how the city is ran. They know I play a lot, but they also know when I'm serious, I'm serious. So I'm so thankful that they came, and their principal, Helen Giles, thank you so much for allowing your school to come and be a part of me this morning. I know I'm off the script. Okay? So it says, our clerk department. Our clerk department, what can I say? Our clerk department worked hard on the primary, they worked hard on the general election, getting things together. The team made sure that every person that worked the polls had the knowledge that they needed to have to make everything go smooth. We did do a record-breaking outburst for votes this year. I don't know if you guys paid attention, but people had a whole lot to say this year. They had a lot to say. Now let's see what they're gonna do, me included. We make promises. Promises don't spin. We got a room full of people who can change this whole dynamic of the world. All we need to do is put love in the picture. That's all. We just need to put love. Working for Saginaw. It's a fresh way. But as your mayor, I do acknowledge that I face challenges every day. Key word, I own it. I actually take on all of your pain, all of your sorrows. I own it, I do. It's a bad habit, but it's necessary. In order to be a leader must also bear the cross. If you're not bearing the cross, I'm not saying you're not a leader. So, with that being said, every city in the nation, stop thinking Saginaw is so bad. Every city in the nation is facing problems with crime. What are we doing? We're working on it. Our police department, we've got partnership that is out of sight. We got the state boards, we got the county boards, we got the city boards, we got the Department of Correction, and guess who else we got? We even got the prosecutor in our house. How can we not be successful with a team like that? I want to thank our police department, our fire department for all that you do. I know I condensed this speech, okay, I really did. I condensed it. It was a whole lot more pages. I'm almost to the end. However, I know you still riding through the city. We still look like a dumping site. Working on that too, okay? Working on that. Our city group has done an excellent job in keeping it up. But this year, in 2022, we brought on, through the help of ARPA, we brought on a new environmental enforcement officer. That's such a mouthful. We brought somebody that's gonna clean up our blighted areas and our debris areas. That's so much easier for me to say. We are excited about the talent that we have in this department and the enhancement of focusing. There is a fresh anointing in our city. There's change. It's truly a season of power, and it's a season of growth. This past year, our partners from Saginaw Future worked on 20 projects in the city that generated 202 jobs, 200 new jobs, not just jobs, but new jobs. And we maintained 174 of investments, and they've invested over $19 million. Look around you. Look around you. I would tell you many ribbon-cutting ceremonies this year, and each and every one has been significant in my life. It is a sign that our future is about to grow. Can you believe that? We're about to grow up. We're about to be big people with me. We're going to be on the map. I want to take the time now to thank those investors who believed in our city, who came to our city, who are in our city, and who have made our dream a reality. I also want to thank Saginaw Future for their efforts and enhancements. The partnership and the friendship we have with them goes on and on and on. And it's not just a simple friendship when it comes to business, it's with anything that happens in the city. I also want to highlight the work that the Economic Development Corporation has done in 2022. Over the past year, SEDC has provided business owners with a number of opportunities for networking, education, expansion. In 2022, SEDC allocated $745,000 in loans to existing businesses, startups, and expanding businesses. This year, SEDC also partnered with the DDA, and they hosted We Love Saginaw Business Day. What is that? Trunk or treat. I'd like to thank the businesses and the agencies that participated in that. You put smiles on a lot of people's faces. Not just young, but also the old with the sweet tooth. As we continue in the city, the season of growth and expansion, we must have a well thought out plan to help create a vision of what we want to look like in the future. In 2022, the master plan was, the 5-year master plan was approved. The master plan is a blueprint for the city's future, and it should serve as the roadmap. As members of the, as a member of Saginaw Planning Commission, I understand the importance of a master plan. The master plan was supposed to be signed off in July. We postponed it. We hold several sessions with the community people to try to get the master plan to fit into the pieces where it needed to go as it related to the community involvement and the redevelopment and revitalization of an area town. The final plan got approved in October. This 5-year plan underscores our commitment to local quality of life. It's a season of power and prosperity. I believe truly that prosperity is the ability to use the power you've been given to meet the needs of others. Let me say that again. I believe that the power of prosperity is the ability to use the power that you've been given to meet the needs of others. There is no other way we can do this without, we've tried all of this so many ways. I'm to the point now where we're gonna try God a little bit. We're gonna put a little God in this picture. We gotta put a little God. We continue to talk about it. We don't understand the transformation of our city. How you don't understand? You don't have to understand everything. Sometimes you just get in and roll your sleeves up and get busy. Just get busy. We understand there's a transformation of power that has been granted to this city through the American Rescue Act, the ARPA dollars. Everybody knows we worked for most of the year on the ARPA funds. Early in the spring, we came up with a 15, or we voted to do a 15-member ARPA advisory committee to begin the discussion and the recommendation for the funds. We also launched in May a 6-week proposal portal where you could actually put your stuff in and fill out an application for these dollars. And it went through for 6 weeks. We ended up having 400 proposals with over $290 billion in requests for funds. And all we had was 52,000. Sure wish I could have made it go all over and everybody could have got some. In August, the final recommendation came down from the committee and it was presented to the council. And it was then up to the council to make the final funding recommendation. We held several meetings in the community addressing the needs of people. And we took steps to provide housing, rehabilitation programs that will have a positive impact on the stabilization of our community, addressing the ongoing blight in the city and the need and environment to clean up and provide residents with easy access to healthy food options. In December, we rolled out the home rehabilitation program to assist qualified individuals with furnaces. And that's phase 1. In April, we will launch phase 2, which is going to be crucial. We also allocated out $5 million to help fund the behavior health clinic in the city of Saginaw in cooperation with our partners, Saginaw Health Department, Saginaw County. You know, it's always good to have somebody that you know, city. So I could even imagine him running down the street, you know the rest. Or I could imagine him, and you know, I'm talking about Bellman, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about. You know, he's my newfound friend. I'm talking about Bellman. And so I want to thank you, Bella, because you have really kept me on point. Okay. Then in January, we did our strategic plan. We allocated $19 million for the ARPA replacement for the city infrastructure and the projects that affect the community at large. The council approved fundings in the area of youth development and workforce. With these funds, we believe these organizations can adjust to their current operation and implement a more impactful program for the residents. We know now that this is a critical task of work with these organizations to ensure all expenditures are within the guideline of ARPA. ARPA funds was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Say that again. It was once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It is not an ongoing thing. So, in the end, we believe that we invested in the program, services, and infrastructure that will make the biggest difference to improve the quality of life for every single Saginaw resident now and in the future. You know, I'm gonna shock you again. ARPA dollars are not gonna save us. ARPA dollars is just a step to help us start going in the right direction. What's gonna save us? Working together. Say it again. What's gonna save us? Working together. If you never thought about it, the Bible says that I'm my brother's keeper. Yes, I am. So if you are doing something and somebody else is doing something, can't you pull them up? It's better to pull them up than to pull them down. And that's what we've been doing this day. We pull down people, and our children have seen us pull them down. Then you wonder why our children do what they do. Lead by example. So, with that being said, you know Saginaw got problems. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We got problems, but we're not the only place with problems. But at least we're working on our problems. Some cities are not working. We're working on building the foundation. It is so important to me that we get the foundation. Because I'm not gonna be here all the time. But I need somebody to step in and say, remember, it's a new season, it's a new day. Fresh anointing is coming our way. The spirit of power and prosperity, it's a new season, and it's coming for us. In a minute, y'all gonna realize what I'm talking about. Now the work begins with the ARPA dollars. It all starts now. In my state of address in 2021, which was my first one, and I got a chance to sit in the chambers and I could shake under the chair, and y'all didn't see me. I talked about love. I said what the world needs now is love, sweet love. Not changed, still need love. Now we need to go out of our way to show a little extra love. Can you do that? Can you do that? Can you just tell somebody I love you? Y'all silly. Every day, everywhere in Saginaw, there's an opportunity for you to help. Did you know that? Every morning when I get up, my ask to God is, what fire do I have to put out today? My ask that I'm asking you is, every morning get up with love on your mind. Get up and tell somebody. You might not love, but if you say it long enough, you know you talking long enough, you believe anything. You know, just like they said, you feed a dog, a stray dog, eventually he your dog, because he's stray. So, I need everybody to do a little extra, and then I need you to get involved. You doing the ARPA stuff, it was so amazing how full that chamber was full of people. Everybody got something they want to say. Now that the decision has been made, can I please get my chamber full of people again? But this time, let's talk about how we gonna make a difference. Don't come in saying, it's on the council, you guys need to do that. No, I can't do it if I don't know what's going on. And I can't do it without y'all help. In conclusion, yes, I'm done, y'all. Yes, I got a chance to get away from stuff. In conclusion, I'm so very, very, very proud of this city and the citizens of this city. Just alone, the support that I get, sometimes my family think we all crazy, because y'all support me. But you know what? It's nothing but love. I am convinced that the progression that I witnessed in 2022, we're on the right path for prosperity and the future and to a positive success. Just remember this, it's a new season, it's a new day. Let's all come together, do our part, and create a better, brighter Saginaw. Thank you very much. I love you all. Keyword, I love you all. God bless the city of Saginaw. God bless Saginaw. I told y'all Velma was my cheerleader. Love you, boo.
Well, thank you, Mayor Moore. Now I'd like to introduce the second of today's speaker sponsors. Please welcome President and CEO of Spence Brothers, my friend Herb Spence III.
Good morning. Thank you, Veronica. And Veronica did tell me that I had to get everybody's minds and bodies working for the second half of today's program. But as usual, Mayor Moore has already got us all fired up for Saginaw. I love you, Mayor. Nice job. However, it's not going to get you out of needing to play the 130th anniversary version of Which Building Did Spence Brothers Not Build? So please, all of you stand up, get your blood moving for the second half, and we will get started with our first round. Okay, the slide's up. Which three of these historic buildings were built by Spence Brothers during our first three generations? Which one was not? If you think we did not build the Grand Hotel, top left, raise your left hand. If you think we did not build Alpena High School, top right, raise your right hand. If you think we did not build Saginaw City Hall, shame on you, bottom left, raise your left foot. If you think we did not build U of M's Chrysler Arena, bottom right, raise your right foot. Safety first, if you're raising a foot, hold on to your chair. And the answer is, we did not build the Grand Hotel, although we, as we speak, are doing renovations at the Grand Hotel this off-season and the next couple. So if you raised your left hand, you can remain standing because you got it right. Otherwise, feel free to sit down and rest for the rest of this little short program. Round two. As buildings built while our fourth generation has been leading Spence Brothers. If you think we did not build the Dow Event Center additions and renovations in 2000, raise your left hand. Raise your right hand if we did not build the Haggerty Insurance Building in Traverse City. Raise your left foot if we did not build U of M's Yost Ice Arena renovations. Or raise your right foot if we did not build the Dow corporate headquarters. And the answer is,
Right foot.
we did not build the Dow headquarters, but we have been honored to build many projects for Dow over the generations and hope to do so again soon. If you got this one wrong, I'm afraid you need to rest. But if you got it right, please remain standing the next round. These projects were completed during our 129th year in 2022. But which one did we not build? Raise your left hand for Lake Superior State University's Center for Freshwater Research. Right hand for Jolt Credit Union's admin building. Left foot for U of M's Football Performance Center. And right foot for Covenant Healthcare's ambulatory surgery renovation. And the answer is, we did not build Michigan's Football Performance Center, but I'm glad somebody did. Back-to-back Big Ten championships, baby.
Yeah, right?
So, if you got this one wrong, thanks for giving us credit for that, but please sit down. If you got it right, here is the next round. These are projects currently under construction, though there is one that is on hold, which we are not currently building. Raise the hand or foot representing the project that we are not currently building. And the answer, yes, is our contract to build the Lions Super Bowl trophy case has been on hold for 60 years. I'm guessing you all got that one right. So here's the next round. These projects are all in the pre-construction phase. 3 of them are projects we are currently providing project planning, scheduling, estimating, and value engineering services to help the owner's dreams become a construction project and then a valuable resource and facility in their communities. Which one do you think we are not involved with? Raise the appropriate hand or foot to make your choice. And the answer is, the 3 projects in our community we are helping make a reality are all very important to Saginaw's revitalization. And the best thing is, we are working on many others as well. Saginaw Township Community Schools bond you may have heard about, that's upcoming, Delta College, and many more. So our community's future is bright thanks to the many investments that organizations are planning to make in Saginaw. We are not currently involved with the pre-construction services for the infamous tunnel at the Big House. However, I was able to get a rendering showing one possible design. I'm really not sure what value we could add to this design anyways. I think it's pretty good. Fortunately, all my Spartan friends, especially my customers, all have a good sense of humor. And you may notice I'm not talking much about basketball this year. Okay, we better move on to the final round. For those of you who have gotten every round right, congratulations. I still see a few up there. This one is projects for which Spence Brothers has made in-kind donations to help incredible community projects become a success for all the champions that are behind them, and certainly for our community. Please raise your hand or foot for the project we did not provide in-kind donated CM services and or trade work. And the answer is, we did not provide services for the Macon Bacon fit out at the Great SVRC Marketplace. However, I can guarantee you I've helped them pay for the fit out that they did, waiting there just about every week for the last 4 years while we've been up on the 3rd floor in the Marketplace. Congrats to all of you who are standing. Give them a round of applause. Great job. You have won our complete admiration, and I'm afraid nothing else. So thank you all for playing, and a special thanks to all of you who have partnered with Spence Brothers that we have built trust and important facilities for. 130 years, and yes, I've only been alive for half of those, but it has been quite a legacy. And now it is my honor to introduce someone who has been a dedicated public servant for a very long time, our new Saginaw County Board of Commissioners Chair, Chris Boyd. Christopher Boyd is a Saginaw native, graduated from St. Peter and Paul High School and from CMU, and has a Juris Doctor from Wayne State University Law School. He was a former assistant city attorney and was private practice from 1979 through 1984. He was elected prosecuting attorney for Saginaw County in 1984 and re-elected in 1988. He was a judge of the 70th District Court for 24 years. After retiring, was the chief assistant prosecuting attorney for prosecutor John McCulligan from 2013 to 2018. Chairman Boyd was first elected to serve on the Saginaw County Board of Commissioners for a term beginning in 2020 and re-elected in 2022, and was recently elected chairman of the Saginaw County Board of Commissioners in 2023. He is married and the father of 3 children and has 4 grandchildren. Please welcome Chairman of Saginaw County Board of Commissioners, Christopher Boyd.
The only way I could follow that. But Herb, would you please sign my time card before you leave? Boy, how do you feel about this morning being Groundhog Day? You know, the first thing, I want to thank Mayor Moore for making everyone awake, so that that was half my job here this morning. And before I get started, I just want to mention a couple of things here. First of all, it's great to see everyone here in person rather than on Zoom. And hopefully we'll be able to continue that for all future years. But before we begin, I want to mention a couple of things. I was thinking about the fact that today is Groundhog Day, February 2nd, which made me think about the fact that last year was actually February 2/2/22. So at 2:22 and 22 seconds, how many of you actually remember where you were and what you were doing? Well, I do, because I was sleeping. All right. I have no idea what I was doing in the afternoon, but that's what I was doing at that time. So while I was researching a little bit the background of Groundhog's Day, I found out that it started back in 1886 in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, at Gobbler's Knob. And then I did a little more research, and I actually found out that, believe it or not, one of the founders of Groundhog Day was George Santos. That's what I said, you know, but if you believe that, then you probably believe that Tom Brady really did retire for the last time. So let's talk a little bit about the county, okay? First of all, I want to acknowledge all of our county commissioners who are here this morning. So I'd ask that you all stand, please. Hold your applause for a minute also. We have Commissioner Spitzer, who took over most of my district. Commissioner Harris, who is following in the footsteps of his son, which is kind of a different way to do it. Our senior member, Commissioner Kraft, Commissioner Little, Commissioner Matthews, who is also one of our veterans, our Vice Chair, Commissioner Taney, and our new Commissioner, Lisa Coney. Thank you all for coming. I want to mention also the other commissioners who were unable to be here. Tracy Slodowski, who I said I was going to tell a story about, just so, you know, since she wasn't here. So now I can say that I did. Also, Commissioner Webster and who am I leaving out? Michael Webster, yes, who is going to be out of town. So let's give him a big round of applause. And you might know that we had some redistricting this past year based on the 2020 census. So we have 2 new districts that have come into Saginaw County. But I also want to acknowledge, while I can, past chair Carl Ruth and our county controller Robert Bellman, who are here. Gentlemen, would you stand, please? I also have some elected officials who are present here. We have 6 elected officials in the county. I'll get to the judges in just a minute. But could we have the elected officials stand, please?
Pull that straight out.
Thank you very much. Amy Kelly, our registry of deeds, and Brian Lindley, our training commissioner. Thank you very much. Could we have our probate and district court judges stand, please? Judge Hoffman. Judge Bowes. And our brand new secretary. Congratulations. Thank you for coming. Finally, can we have all of the county employees please stand and be recognized? Thank you very much, and not just for coming, but for the great work you do and the service that you do for the county of Saginaw. We certainly couldn't accomplish the things that we do if we didn't have the people there who are doing the jobs. And what I've found during my time with Saginaw County is that the better people you pick to do the job for you, the more credit you get for the job that they did. So let's give them the credit, please. I just want to mention our services that we provide a little bit. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can see there we have everything from our animal care center to treasure, the courts, public safety, and a number of other services for the county. The graphic that you see over on the right is actually those things that the citizens of Saginaw County have funded and supported through millages. And I'm going to speak about several of them, but I just want to point out that, for instance, you'll see there that we have the Children's Zoo and we have the Castle Museum. Again, all funded by you. Next slide is going to show you a little bit of the breakdown of Saginaw County. And I don't expect you to really be able to read this. It's available on our website if you want to see it. But the point here is this: there's a structure in the county. There's accountability, there's supervision, but ultimately, this shows who reports to who. The important point here is that we all report to you, the citizens of Saginaw County. Thank you. So, let's talk about what Saginaw County really does. What's our mission? Well, first of all, since we're serving the citizens of Saginaw County, our duty is to enhance the quality of life through a number of different things. First of all, through economic development. And the mayor has spoken about that. We're going to be collaborating over this next year, and I know that we have a number of people both on the commission and present here at this meeting who are interested in the economic development of the county of Saginaw and the city of Saginaw, as the mayor indicated. One of the ways that we're going to do that is through technology. You'll hear briefly about some technology projects that we've had in the works and some that we're going to expand as the year goes on this year. Our natural resources are one of our greatest assets here in the county of Saginaw, and we should continue to exploit what we have available to us One of the ways we'll do that is through our parks and recreation, which has done an absolutely fabulous job. I know that we've expanded over 28% increase over this past year. Quality workforce, as I mentioned before, is absolutely paramount in what we do in Saginaw County. And our intention is not only to attract, but to retain the people that we need to be able to accomplish our goals. Healthcare. That's been absolutely enormous, as all of you know, over the past few years, as we've been battling with the pandemic and its various spin-offs and problems. It's going to continue to be some challenges for us to get back to normalcy, so to speak, but also to expand with some very interesting projects that I'm going to refer to in a few moments. Public safety, that's always been an issue here, and fortunately for us, our entire community and the public safety is excellent in Saginaw County. We have a number of different groups, associations that network, and I would commend them on their job and encourage them to keep doing exactly what they've been doing. Entertainment. We're in one of the entertainment venues right now. This is one of our resources that we intend to make some expansions on and continue to make things available for the citizens of our county. And finally, infrastructure. You may have been reading over the past year about all of the infrastructure emphasis that the federal and state government has put. The ARPA funds were part of that, and there's going to be a continuation of that during this year. So we really want to address those issues, and we're going to have some challenges, but we're also going to have some funds, I believe, available from governments and grants. So one of the things that I'd like to emphasize this year is very simply this, that we return to some of the traditional values. Sort of a throwback, simplify things, to collaborate with other entities out there, and plain and simple, not to reinvent the wheel. Let's utilize the resources and the people that we have available as we open up our lines of communication with other governmental entities, that we involve the groups that are available, many of which are represented by you. We want to communicate, we want to be able to work with you so that we can do what's best for our community. So before we go on, let's look back a little bit at what we accomplished in 2022. You'll see that as we move from 2022 to 2023 and beyond, we have a number of things that we've been able to accomplish, but the things, as you look at them there in the box, are really some ongoing projects. Many of them are just the beginning of some things that we want to expand on through Saginaw County and establish some partnerships with some other agencies. And the ARPA funding has allowed us to do some of that, but now we're going to have a continuation of monitoring how it's spent and exactly whether or not it is in accordance with what our intentions are, but most importantly, whether or not it's going to help our community grow. So the Dow Event Center was one of the projects that we had this past year. As you'll see, there was roof replacement, some parking ramp renovations. I was just working on some of those this morning. The elevators, hockey glass and dasher replacements have been made here in the arena, along with replacing the ice slab and some theater and other arena restroom renovations, and the roof and the heating and air conditioning units here. But we're not done. There's some other things that need to be done, and we'll get to those in a minute. county parks and recreation. You can see that they've made a lot of accomplishments over the past year. New splash pad out at Heathcote. I was actually able to take my grandchildren there this summer, and they enjoyed it. I'll tell you, it's been a while since I've been out there. You get a chance next summer, go there. Just as an adult, sit in the splash pad and enjoy them. Over 100,000 patrons last summer. And as I said before, that's the largest ever. Largest ever, over 25% increase. Millions, but here's one of the, well, I'm gonna save this for a minute because something new that just came out the other day. I'm gonna tell you about that when we get to some of the things that we're doing in 2023. Sheriff's Department, training simulator. Great thing. As commissioners, we all went over there and took a look at it. If you can tell from the picture there, the police officers, and not just the sheriff, because the sheriff is sharing this with other law enforcement agencies, city, state police, townships, municipalities, police departments, where they can go into a simulator and they're given different situations where they decide whether or not to use deadly force or other force. And it's really interesting, proactive by our law enforcement departments in Saginaw County. And I certainly think it's a great idea. And the best part of it is it was funded with federal funds, so we didn't have to pay for it. We all know of the challenges that they've had for the past few years. They've been enormous, especially back at the beginning of the pandemic when nobody knew what we were going to need. But we struggled through it, and we came out exceptionally well. And they've been able to accomplish a lot of things. And one of the things that I want to allude to, because I think it's part of our theme that we need to address this year, and that's collaboration. I know that the health department has collaborated and will continue their coalition with Ascension St. Mary's, CMU Health, Covenant Healthcare, Great Lakes Bay Health Centers, Health Source Saginaw, the Saginaw Community Foundation, Saginaw County Community Mental Health Authority, Intermediate School Districts, United Way. I probably missed a couple of those when I was reading that. But the point here is that they're reaching out and they're taking advantage of the other resources that we have in Saginaw County. So let's give them a round of applause. The court system had some significant problems during COVID. When people couldn't get together, it was a major problem. Zoom helped a bit, but the backlog increased. But last year, they were able to reduce conducting jury trials in the Saginaw County Courthouse. They began having in-person criminal hearings and civil hearings by Zoom, which, by the way, is a great thing because then people don't have to actually come into the courthouse. And they've been implementing processes to reduce the backlog. Some of those are, for instance, drug court that you may not be aware of, sobriety court, their mental health court. They're addressing the specific issues. And I actually had a meeting with them yesterday, and there's some new and different things that they're going to be doing. We certainly appreciate their endeavors and encourage their continued success. Thank you. Our mainframe modernization project has been coming along, and quite frankly, I'm going to age myself. Back in 1986, when I was prosecutor, that's when our mainframe came in, 6 years ago. And now we're replacing it once and forever. It's kind of like, you remember those bag phones where you had to carry around a big suitcase if you didn't have a portable phone? And now you've got the phone that you can stick in your pocket, right? Well, back in the day, that's what the mainframe was like. It was slow, developed. Believe it or not, we actually had the state-of-the-art system back in the day. And now it's long overdue, and we've finally been able to get to a situation where we're implementing some new procedures, getting away from the typewriters, the mainframe, and we'll move on to the present and the future. Our animal control, animal care and control has had a number of great advances this past year. As you may be aware, they were named Shelter of the Year this past year. And that's even before we're getting to the new facility out off of Bay Road, which you can see in the top picture there. In the top left, it's a little bit still in the completion stages, but hope to be done sooner rather than later, maybe this spring, early summer, and we look forward to a project that has been 2 years in the making. This past year, our Parks and Recreation, among other things, was able to use some of our ARPA funding in action for the Baysville Trailhead, which will connect Saginaw to Bay County. And later this year, hopefully by the summer, we expect to get connected. So if you want to use it, it'll be available. But the other thing is, we received the Racers Edge Award for the, I don't recall exactly what it's being called, I guess the Headwaters Project. For those of you who are, as I was about that name, I refer to it as the old Malvern Iron Site, which is now on River, Saginaw Nature Center, Park, Washington Trail, and other things, and we certainly look forward to those things as well. Our Commission on Aging made a number of different accomplishments over the year. First of all, they delivered over 152,000 meals to our homebound older adults. They served over 41,000 meals to almost 600 participants, and they provided over 8,000 one-way trips to medical appointments and others for grocery shopping, etc. A lot of that was done through volunteers, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but they also were able to utilize some of the ARPA funding that we gave them to make some improvements, first of all, to the Marie Davis Senior Center parking lot, so that people didn't trip over the potholes and so on as they were going to the front door, but also some well overdue updates to their main building on Schuss Road. And we expect that they're going to continue those things into this year. Mosquito control had a number of things that came into effect during this past year. And they had a significant community impact. You can see there are some of their accomplishments on how much treatment and abatement they were able to do. And they've been helping to eliminate our mosquito population in the area. But then we were also able to hopefully, and there's a story behind this, but we won't go there right now. We entered into a tentative agreement with Saginaw Public Schools to swap some properties. As you may know, mosquito abatement is over here where the new school is being built as we speak. And the idea here is to swap properties with the school district for the old Buena Vista School District property that's on Town Line Road And that's still in the process, and if it works, we'll receive not only their building, but 30 acres and a substantial amount of cash to go along with it, hopefully to fund some renovations. And also we'll have some land available to use for any new facilities that may be needed at that location. Well, let's talk about ARPA for just a minute. The mayor explained what that was all about, so I'm not going to repeat that. But in Saginaw County, we received $37 million from the federal government, utilized to enhance and stimulate the economy in Saginaw County. I'm happy to say that the Board of Commissioners was able to commit a majority of that money before the end of the year. And I commend everyone for their efforts in that regard. We held a number of town hall meetings, I'll call them, around the county. And we solicited input and requests. And then we were able, through a number of different committee of the whole meetings, to set some priorities and allocate those dollars. Now, the real work comes into play, and that's for implementation. And part of what the commission tried to do, and we're going to continue to try to do, is to establish some partnership opportunities with other governmental entities, with various community groups within the county, businesses, state, federal, and so on, so that we can all work together and hopefully be able to leverage that money, especially, for instance, with the healthcare strategy project, where we've entered into sort of a joint support with the city of Saginaw, hopefully with the state of Michigan and the medical community themselves, to be able to accomplish something major for our community. You'll see that some of the highlights are listed here, where we funded money for First Ward Community Center, Community Food Club. There's a vacuum in the city of Saginaw as far as grocery stores. And in conjunction with the city of Saginaw and some others, we funded Community Action Committee, Thomas Township's new nature Center Reserve, which you may know is right there on the river where the bridge crosses on Gratiot. I mentioned Saginaw County Parks and Recreation, and I'm going to talk about them a little bit more when we talk about 2023. But here's another one. 7 fire departments. In our county have been given some money to utilize for new equipment that they've needed to expand and react to the pandemic, but also to meet their future needs. Our Commission on Aging I alluded to, and we also have committed funds to Chesaning for a canoe kayak launch, which those of you in that area, hopefully you'll be able to use. So let's talk about our budget just briefly. You'll see that we have a $56 million budget. Majority of it is funded through taxes, grants, and charges for services. That's in our revenue of where it comes from. And when you talk about our expenditures, they are pretty much the same, and they've remained stable over many years. Again, the funding has primarily been for general government, judiciary, public safety, and health and welfare. So the stability of our budget is a good thing as we look forward to 2023. So I mentioned before of going back to some traditional values, or back to the future, so to speak. Some of those values that I would advocate, and this is not just for the County Board of Commission, but also for our community as a whole. And that would be candor. That we're candid with one another about what our needs are and how we can deal with those things. That we bring common sense to the table. Let's not check our brains at the door when we come into community meetings and are making decisions, because a lot of the things I found are very simple answers if we just bring our collective wisdom, which I know we all have. And I'm very pleased with our new Board of Commissioners, because I know there's a lot of people there with a lot of energy and a lot of good ideas. And I think that if we are able to collaborate, not only together, but with other organizations and entities, that's where we're going to be most successful. And in the final analysis, what that means is that we need to come to a consensus. You know, we see so much quibbling and arguing at various levels of government these days. We really need to decide what we need to do and come to a consensus, not only about what the issues are, but how we solve those issues. And I think we can do that. And in doing that, some of the things that we're going to face this year, and there's so many, I'm just going to mention a few and then highlight a couple. I mentioned before our healthcare strategy, and that's going to be important. The medical hub that was referred to earlier, that needs to be addressed, and we've already begun that. The discussions to discuss how and where and who can all be successful in that regard. I've been reading quite a bit lately about federal government's desire to expand in our behavioral health field. And certainly we can utilize that here in Saginaw County. The year is over, we'll receive our opioid settlement. So there are going to be a number of different decisions made of how we can better our community with that money. I understand it was just announced yesterday that the Saginaw Spirit have now applied to have the 2024 Memorial Cup, which is the Canadian Hockey League's Stanley Cup, here in the Dow Event Center in the arena. And that would be absolutely phenomenal if we could do that. The statistics show that we would be projected to bring $20 to $24 million to Saginaw County's economy if we were able to obtain that. Now that's going that will absolutely put some things on the board here. And this is a one-time opportunity. So I am just ecstatic, as some others are, that we're being considered for that. Hopefully in the next few months we'll find out whether or not we receive that, and if we do, exactly what we do to prepare for it, which is going to be a huge task by a lot of different people and groups. Saginaw Future, of course, will be involved in that project, and look at the job that they've done by expanding our tax base with over 1,700 projects over this past year, and more on the table for the coming year. And we'll hear more about that as the year passes on, but they've had and will continue to have a significant impact on our economy. Harry Brown Airport this year will be using some federal dollars to expand and update their infrastructure. And I want to mention that we now have a new 911 central dispatch director, so there are some new things that are going to be happening there as well. So let's look forward to some other major projects in 2023. And as I said, primary goal will be to make progress through partnership, as we partnership with the various entities. And the thing that is going to be difficult is to identify individual field. So please, feel free to contact us to let us know how you can help, because we certainly want to do that. I've already mentioned the Canadian Hockey League Memorial Cup, which, by the way, they say that 1 million more people watch that than watch the Stanley Cup. Interesting thing. And our healthcare strategy, we dedicated $5 million in ARPA funding by the county to match the city's funding. Economic development and the increase in healthcare access and can be phenomenal, and we're looking for additional revenue sources to help us in expanding that. And, you know, we're going to take a shot at something that could be a major project. But, you know, as Wayne Gretzky said one time, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So we need to get out there and be aggressive and try to do some things that can expand our community. I've already mentioned a number of different things that are continuing into 2023 from 2022 because they need to, and this is part of the plan for continuation of the collaboration and the partnerships that we have been able to establish and that we want to continue to establish. You know, the Dow Event Center, let's expand it. This is our venue, this is our community. Let's get the most out of it. We've got the Joe Credit Union Event Park just across the street, expansion and use of that. So partnering with the city of Saginaw, the state of Michigan, and others will be paramount to this effort. So I'm going to talk just for a moment about going back to the mainframe modernization project. In 2023, we expect to be able to finalize this by implementing all of the different modules. The Munis, which is basically administrative, the Odyssey program, and which services the courts, Carpel, which services the prosecutor, Jail Tracker for the sheriff, and countywide Wi-Fi, so that everybody can communicate with everybody. And we utilize the latest in technology. And actually, at some point, if we can make this work correctly, things will be more efficient, now, it's coming up pretty quick, 16 days away, February 18th of this year. So maybe don't go into shock this year from the county. February 18th. See how many. Parks. Let me come back to that for a minute. You can see that there are a number of events, and this is just a sampling of those things. Okay? If you go on their website, you see that they probably have something going every other day, and that's great. But here's the new thing that was just be developing a 5-year plan. What? Okay, so what? Well, the big deal about that is that will qualify us to apply for federal and state funding so that we can leverage our dollars even more. So this is a very significant step in the advancement of our Parks and Recreation Department. Here's another topic that I just want to touch on briefly, and that's volunteerism. Saginaw County, our residents and employees who have been serving and giving back through volunteering their time to make our county a great place. That's always been the case in Saginaw County in my experience, and I think it's going to continue even more so this year. This past year, we honored Don Syed because he, as some of you may know, walks around the county and cleans it up. Don't get paid anything for it. Didn't until recently get any credit for it. I thought afterwards maybe we should buy him the garbage bags so he can fill them up as he goes around. But literally, he's concerned with the city, he's concerned with the county, and he does things for nothing. And if we can get more people along those lines of thinking, for instance, our employees have begun to do some community service work at the East Side Soup Kitchen for Habitat for Humanity and some of the other agencies within the county. And we should be proud of that for all of you who are here, who participated in that. It would really be nice to see some expansion of that. So, this is our community. I was born and raised here. We're all here because we want to be here, or at least I hope you want to be here. So we need to take care of it. It's our backyard, and that is the central theme, I think, is that we need to take care of our community because it is ours. So in conclusion, I just want to say, in 2023, I hope that we can ask ourselves how we can volunteer or help our community, whether it's in your job, whether it's raking leaves or anything else. We're going to conceive what the ideas are as we collaborate and get together. And then if we can just believe in what we determined to be the way to address those problems, I'm certain that we're going to be able to achieve a lot of our goals anyway. So thank you very much for inviting me here. I'm glad everybody came. Before we say goodbye, I just want to give special thanks to Susie Keplinger, Marissa Sodden, and Mary Williams for putting together this presentation. Any mistakes were mine, so thanks again.
All right, no, I'm not Veronica, but when Mrs. Horn says, come back up and finish it off for me, I say, you've got it. So, all right, very quickly, folks. Thank you again, Chairman Boyd. In fact, let's give both Mayor Moore and Chairman Boyd one more round of applause. We'd also like to thank today's speaker sponsor, AT&T and Spence Brothers, as well as today's Chamber Ambassador team. I'm going to name them here quickly. Ken Volker with Wilson Realty, Becky Carrier with TriStar Trust, Emma Rogers with Future Insurance Agency, Drew Patton with Martin Chiropractic, Brittany Jeffers with the Saginaw Police Department, and Julie Tactor with Valley United Insurance Agency and Cumulus Media. The Saginaw County Chamber Board of Directors believes the business community has an obligation to advocate for issues that enhance community growth, economic prosperity, and a strong quality of life. From public safety to tax policy to education to infrastructure, our elected officials and public administrators need the ideas, leadership, and information available from the business community. The need for cooperation is vital, and the Chamber is a conduit for that collaboration. We are committed to building partnerships that lead to solutions, and we invite you to join us. Thank you for coming this morning. Please remember that next month's Percolator Breakfast will be back at Horizon Center on Thursday, March 2nd. Please enjoy the rest of your day, and we are adjourned. Thank you.